Hi, I'm Lorie Marrero, and in today's Clutter Video Tip, I will be saying the F word. In fact, I'll be saying 4 F words, the ones that you should think about before doing any organizing project. They are features, function, flow, and frequency. So let's take a kitchen for example. The features in a kitchen are things like the plumbing, the walls, the doors, furniture that you might have in a particular room. So you want to look at the features as the skeleton of the room. What do you have to work with, some of them being movable, some of them being unmovable. Then you have the function. What is going on in this space? In a kitchen, you have baking and cooking and food preparation. You have washing dishes. You might even have lunch making and coffee making. You want to think about all of those things because there can be quite a few functions going on in a space, and you have to account for each one when you're planning the different storage and the different zones in the area. Then you want to look at flow, and that is the relationship between the features and the functions. So we have here a diagram that is called the work triangle. This is a really common thing in kitchen planning. You want to think about the relationship between the sink, the stove, and the refrigerator, and how all the functions you're going to be doing in the kitchen relate to each other in terms of where those fixed features are, so that you can plan where to store your cutting boards and your knives based on the sink and the refrigerator where you're going to be getting out the food, and all of those other functions. You can kind of see how that works. So even if you have to do a little diagram on your own room, sometimes that can be really helpful. Then you want to look at the frequency. How often are these functions occurring? In a kitchen example, you might say, okay, well, how often am I really baking anymore? Do I just go to the grocery store and buy the slice and bake cookies now? Is that realistically what I'm doing? Or am I really a baker and I spend a lot of time with my large stand mixer and all of those ingredients? And so if that frequency is pretty high, you want to make that a more accessible area in the kitchen, and that frequency thinking can help you decide where to put something, what priority to place on it, how accessible it's going to be. So if you like this kind of strategizing that can really help you save time when you do organizing projects, you might want to check out my book. We have a lot of this information, things that are kind of secrets of the pros of how we approach our organizing projects. And you can see my book and read about that at clutterdiet.com/buy-book. See you next time, and may you always be happy and grateful for having more than enough.